On October 1, 2024, Iran launched 180 ballistic missiles towards Israel. Iran's IRGC, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, which is a part of their army, said that more than 90% of their missiles successfully hit their target. But here's a twist. Israel claims that most of these missiles were caught by their air defense system, which means that the damage was minimal. So, whose version is true? And more importantly, is it just another event in the ongoing conflict between Israel and Iran, or is it the start of something much bigger? World War III. Recently, Israel's Prime Minister Netanyahu said, "Iran made a big mistake tonight, and it will pay for it. The regime in Iran does not understand our determination to defend ourselves, and our determination to retaliate against our enemies." But why did Iran launch these missiles in the first place? Well, things started last year when Hamas launched an unexpected attack, and this conflict quickly spread to different countries. Israel found itself not only fighting in Palestine, but also battling in Lebanon. The situation became more complex as various paramilitary groups and terrorist organizations, including Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Houthis, joined the fight. With Iran now taking a direct role in the conflict, tensions have been heightened. This has led some media outlets to dramatically claim that World War III has begun. However, it's not true because all this isn't the only attack that Iran and Israel have had in the past few years. The two countries have been engaged in a silent but deadly war, with both sides launching covert attacks against each other for decades now. Earlier this year, on April 13th, Iran launched a massive assault on Israel. During that attack, over 300 drones and missiles were used. In fact, when comparing the machinery involved, the April attack was even larger than the one in October. The April assault included around 170 drones, 30 cruise missiles, and 110 ballistic missiles aimed at Israel. Yes, the media didn't cover it in the same way, which is why you probably didn't hear about it as you did the October attack. So, what made Iran attack Israel in April? Iran said it was getting even. Some called it revenge or retaliation. Here's what happened. About 2 weeks before Iran's attack around April 1st, Israel launched an airstrike on Syria's capital, Damascus. During this airstrike, 7 Iranian officers died, including a top general from the Iranian embassy. Now, imagine if your country's important military people were attacked. No country would take that lightly. Israel, however, argued that the strike wasn't on an embassy, but on a military building. They claimed that the officer who died was closely connected to Hezbollah. This Lebanese Shia Islamist organization does not only influence politics, but also provides social welfare and religious education. Imagine a powerful group that holds 15 seats in Lebanon's parliament under the name Loyalty to the Resistance Bloc. But that's not all. They have a strong military arm called the Jihad Council. Hezbollah was originally formed by Lebanese clerics who wanted to oppose the 1982 Israeli invasion of Lebanon. Following the example of Iran's leader Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini, since the 1979 Iranian Revolution, Hezbollah has grown close to Iran. There are several defense systems that Israel has developed over the years to protect its people. These include Iron Dome, David Sling, and Arrow weapon system. These defense systems are so strong that they make people feel like no matter what happens to Israel, the country will always be protected. But it's not that simple. The main problem with these defense systems is the cost. Running them is very expensive. To stop a missile from hitting, those systems launch another missile to intercept it. For example, the Iron Dome uses the Tamir missile, which costs $50,000 each. The David Sling is even more costly, with its missiles priced at $1 million. The Arrow system is the most expensive, with missiles costing several $million. When Israel was attacked in April, they had to spend roughly $200 million in just one day. These figures are just hard to imagine. So, there are 3 groups known as Iran's allies: Hamas in Gaza, Houthis in Yemen, and of course, Hezbollah in South Lebanon, which we just covered. Some people call Hamas a political group with a military wing called the Ezzeddin al-Qassam Brigades. Since 2007, Hamas has been governing the Gaza Strip, which is under Israeli control. The movement was started by a Palestinian Islamic scholar named Ahmad Yassin in 1987, when the First Intifada, a big uprising against Israel rule, began. Before forming Hamas, Yassin was involved in an Islamic charity known as Mujama al-Islamiyah, which connected to the Muslim Brotherhood. On the other hand, Houthis, officially called Ansar Allah, are a political and military group from Yemen. They started in the 1990s, with most members being Zaydi Shias. The group was named after the Houthi tribe, and its leader was a Zaydi religious figure named Hussein al-Houthi. The Houthis became known for opposing Yemen's president at the time, Ali Abdullah Saleh. They accused him of being corrupt and having support from Saudi Arabia and the United States. This opposition led to ongoing conflicts and shaped the Houthis' regional role. These three groups are sometimes called the axis of resistance because Iran helps them from behind the scenes by giving them money and support. This support has a long and complicated history. On October 7, 2023, Hamas launched an attack on Israel, which kicked off the war. The very next day, on October 8, 2023, Hezbollah officially announced that they were also at war with Israel. Meanwhile, the Houthis, who started in the 1990s due to the unfair treatment of Shia Muslims and foreign influence in Yemen, are often seen as a terrorist group by many countries. They don't like Yemen's government, and besides Iran, some believe Russia also gives them funding. So, when Hamas launched its attack on October 7, 2023, Israel responded by invading Gaza. Israel started bombing Gaza, and the damage was so severe that many areas became unlivable. This led countries around the world to label the situation as genocide. Recorded data between October 7, 2023 and September 22, 2024 shows that over 40,000 people lost their lives, with more than half being women and children. This conflict also forced more than 2 million people from their homes, creating a massive humanitarian crisis. If we look at the current war, we see how Hezbollah has shown itself to be extremely strong. In the fights along the Israeli-Lebanese border, more than 80,000 Israelis had to leave their homes because of constant rocket attacks. Meanwhile, the Houthis have caused big problems in the Red Sea by firing missiles at passing ships, which led to the loss of almost $1 trillion in trade. Before the attacks in April, Iran wasn't directly in this war, though it was secretly helping other groups. However, Iran made things clear on April 14th when they said they would fight back if Israel did anything against them. This message was given to Hossein Salami, who leads the IRGC. Then, on July 31st, something big happened. Ismail Haniyeh, a Hamas leader, was assassinated in Tehran. Although nobody has officially claimed responsibility, many people suspect that Israel might be involved. Today, big names like the United Nations and the USA keep telling all sides to stop fighting. On October 1st, Iran launched an attack on Israel. But interestingly, Israel didn't detect any warning signs of a return strike by Iran. However, the USA was quick to predict this move and alerted Israel ahead of time. Around 7:30 p.m., the Israeli Defense Forces confirmed that missiles had been fired by Iran, causing sirens to wail across the country as people rushed for safety. IRGC claimed they were hitting back because a leader of Hezbollah was killed due to Israeli attacks in Lebanon. Even though the attack seemed frightening, only one person was hurt, a Palestinian in the West Bank. The Israeli finance minister didn't take this lightly and warned Iran, saying they would face strong consequences, much like what happened in Gaza and Lebanon. So the entire story comes to a single point. Everyone seems to be taking revenge for something or the other, and it is the innocent civilians who lose their lives. The United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has made a statement condemning the overall conflict rather than blaming a single country. It's important to realize that whenever a situation like this happens anywhere, regular people suffer the most. These politicians who keep fighting back and forth, often retaliating over and over, sometimes don't even have the support of their own people. So, what can we take away from all of this? The situation in the Middle East, particularly between Israel and its neighboring countries, is a complex one. It involves historical events, religious beliefs, power dynamics, and alliances that have been formed over decades. Although media coverage is saying that World War III has started, we should remember that Israel and Iran aren't the only two countries in this world. Big players like the United States, Russia, and many others are taking action behind the scenes and looking to maintain peace in the region. Leave a like if you found this video informative, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more historical content. Oh, one more thing. We love your support in the form of likes and subscriptions, but we would love it more if you could support us through supers. Thanks for watching.